right, so this delta math is going to help you on, Lord have mercy, get your words right. This video is going to help you with your delta math today, okay? All right, let's go. We're going to take a screen snip, okay? So we're still writing a linear piecewise equation from the graph, okay? All right, so see how delta math already gives you the f of x stuff, and you just have to fill it in, okay? So first thing you do is you get your slope. So we start with graph 1. I've got a point here, and I got a point here. Left to right. I went up 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2. So it's 3 over 2, x. This one does not cross the y-axis, so we're going to make it cross the y-axis by using that slope. So we go up 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2. There's a point. Not there yet, though. Up 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2. There's my y-intercept at plus 8. Okay? Let's do the next one. So the next one, this one's a horizontal line. And remember, it's just a number at that y-axis point, which is -1. Okay? Now we're going to get our domains. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and transfer these into delta math. Well, now let's go ahead and get our domains. Okay? So I highlight. Let's change it to blue so we stick with the same color. If you look, I got an arrow, right? So if you look, my x's start at -4, and what's happening to them? They're getting smaller. My x's are getting smaller, okay? So my x's are getting smaller than -4. It's an open dot, so we leave it alone, okay? Next one. This one starts at 4, and my x's are doing what? They're getting bigger. So my x's are getting bigger than 4. Okay? All right, so now we're going to go back to delta math, and I'm going to show you how to type this in. Okay? So let's go back to delta math. So the first one was 3/2 x. Oh, let me get this handled real fast. I'm holding the computer, and it's getting a little warm. All right, minimize that. All right, here we go. So I would pull up. Well, it doesn't have a keyboard, so I'm going to need this keyboard. All right, so it was 3/2 x. So we do 3 divided by, oh, I got to be on the spot. 3 divided by 2. See how it does the fraction for you? Arrow over, put an x, and then it's plus 8. Plus 8. The domain was x was less than -4. X, it provides it for you down here, is less than -4. Second line is going to be -1. And this one is going to be my x's are greater than 4. X is greater than 4. Okay? And then we submit. And see how the arrowheads, do a quick check. See how that arrowhead's matching that arrowhead? And the second arrowhead's matching the second arrowhead. Submit answer. And we got it right. All right, let's do another one. Let's do, I want one. Nope. Nope. Here we go. This is the one I want. All right, so here we go. So we're going to take a screen snip. I'm not even going to worry. I'm going to zoom in. Let's get a good screen snip. Let's exit this one. Okay. All right, so this one, we're going to write our rule. Rules up, okay? So, first one, so first thing, so we're going to do the first one. First thing you have to do is get your slope from left to right, okay? I have a point here, and I have a point here. So if you look, I'm going down 1 over 1. Down 1 over 1. Okay, you need that negative. I don't know why I put that x there. It's supposed to be a 1. And then the x is right here. This one doesn't cross the y-intercept, but we can make it cross the y-intercept by continuing the down 1 over 1. So down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1 at -8. Okay? All right. Next one. Next one, it is a horizontal line at -1, so it is just -1. We like those. Those are super, super simple. Okay, so now we're going to get our domains. I'm going to erase this. We're going to color. So it starts at -4. That is not the highlighter. It starts at -4. And what's happening to my x's? They're getting smaller. So my x's are getting smaller than -4. It is a closed dot, so it is an equal to. Okay? All right. The next one, it starts at -1. And what's happening to my x's? They're getting bigger than -1. So my x's are getting bigger than -1. It is an open dot. I don't know why that just erased. Let's undo that. It is an open dot, so it stays that way. Okay? So now we're going to go back to delta, and we're going to type this rule in. Okay, so we go back to delta, bring up my keyboard, and we're going to say -1/1. Can't we just say -1? You can just say -x, but we're going to say -1x minus 8. And the rule was x is less than or equal to -4. X is less than or equal to -4. This one was just -1. And x's, I'll fix that. X's were greater than -1. So we're going to erase one of those negatives. And we're going to submit. Yes. Ta-da! All right, let's do another one. Let's see if I can get a good one. Let's get a good one. Here we go. Let's do this one. So there are no arrows on this one, so this is going to be a sandwich one. Okay, so we're going to screen snip it. I think, let me check I'm still recording. Yes, we're still recording. Okay, so here we go. So we've got 2 still, but there are no arrows. So there are no single inequalities. It's a sandwich, okay? So first let's get our equation, okay? So our first equation is right here. It's a flat line at -2, so it is just -2, okay? Next, we get the next equation, and we're going to use pink. This is the second one. You get your slope, okay? I have a point here and I have a point here, left to right. I went down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, and then an x. I tried to draw an x there. Y'all saw that, didn't you? This one crosses the intercept at 0. Now, let's simplify this, okay? We're going to say -2. -1 over 1 is just -1x, and then we don't need the plus 0, okay? So this is, so we simplified it down here. Now let's write our rules, okay? So we're going to highlight. I'm going to erase. So let's highlight the first one. The first one is between -6 and -2. My x's are between -6 and -2. Remember, we use less than, less than. Open dot stays the same. A closed dot gets a bar. Okay? The next one is between -2 and +2. So this one's between -2 and +2. It gets a less than, less than. They're both open, so we leave them alone. And that's your answer. So let's go back to delta, and let's type this one in, okay? So we go back to delta. I'm going to type it in, okay? Let's get our keyboard up. We have -2. That was it. And now look, watch this one, please. We haven't done one like this. -6 was less than, oh, I did not mean to have that many sixes, is less than x, which is less than or equal to -2. Put that negative there. All right, the next one was -1x. x. And this one was negative 2 less than x less than 2. Submit, minimize, and we're done. All right, we're going to do one more and we're going to call this video quits. Okay? I want to do another one that's not arrows. Let's do one that's not arrows. Here we go. Perfect. Perfecto. All right. Full screen snap. All right. Here we go. Last one. Last one. Last one. All right. Let's use this pretty color. All right. So the first one is a flat line at negative 2. So it is just negative 2. The next one, left to right. I have a point here and a point here. It went down 1 over 1. Down 1 over 1. I did it right that time. Then the simplified version of this, oh, we got to get the y-intercept. So to get the y-intercept, you got to work backwards. So working backwards means you go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. So it crosses at negative 2, so it's a minus 2. Let's simplify this. Negative 1 over 1 is just negative 1x minus 2. Okay? Let's get our domains. So this one, it starts at 2. What are my x's between? My x's are between negative 6 and 2. Remember the small number comes first? So negative 6 and 2. Less than. They're both closed, so they both get a bar. Okay? The second equation, it is between 2 and 5. 2 and 5. Okay? Yeah, 2 and 5. That's why I highlight the x-axis. I don't know why I stopped doing that. Between 2 and 5, so you guys can see it. X is less than. The first one's open, so we leave it alone. But the second one's closed, and it gets a bar. And that's your answer. So we're going to go to Delta Math. We're going to type it in. I go to Delta Math. I'm going to pull up my keyboard. And it's going to be negative 2 for the first one. The second, and then the inequality would be negative 6 less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 2. Next one was negative 1x minus 2. And this is going to be 2 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 5. Submit answer. We got it right. All right, so feel free to reach out for me if you need any more help or any more videos. Just let me know and I can make some more. All right, guys?